What a nice day. As I wake up to the snow. Is everybody back in their bodies? At least two-thirds of the way? I have a tendency of taking myself too deep on meditations and being a little ungrounded coming out of that. So I hope you're doing okay. So we have prayer slips here. What I'd like you to do, if you're able, is I'd like you to take on the back of this, just write down 3 simple pleasures of your life. Just 3. And if they don't come, that's okay. 3 simple pleasures that you are enjoying right now in your life. These are things, maybe you plan them, maybe you don't plan them. Maybe it's a ritual, maybe it's something as simple as a moment with someone else. It can be as small or as big as you want it to be. And just think about those 3 simple pleasures of your world right now. And these are things that are often overlooked. They're part of our daily lives that maybe we take for granted. And it's just great to look at these once in a while, to pinpoint the treasures of your life. And while you're doing that, I'll tell you a story. I recently turned 40 a couple weeks ago on the 10th. And I don't feel a day over 87. I feel fantastic. And it was kind of a momentous it seemed to be a momentous birthday for me. Just kind of one of those to just look around and say, hey, wow, this is your life. And it filled me with a lot of warmth and a lot of gratitude and put me in a great abundance space. And it wasn't necessarily the number or anything that I did. It was just, I just am loving my life right now. And I feel like that's so important. How many of you are in that space right now where you're just loving, you're thriving, you're vibing? And it's okay if you're not. It's okay. I'm on the roller coaster too. And there are days. But just to be in that space, and I think what set me up for it was Christmas break and just having snow and being able to enjoy the mountain with my son, having time off with my son, being able to just breathe and reflect on where I'm at. I kind of hit a halfway point with chiropractic school, and I can see the light at the end of that tunnel, and it's a scary light, and I don't know what to do about it. But everything just kind of coalesced towards this new year. 2025 seems to be a very important time for my life. Kind of a shelf upon which to step onto and feel secure. And that feels really good. It feels really good to have that awareness and gratitude. And apparently it's the year of the wood rat. Juliet was sharing that with me. And what was the details around that? Like, I was born in 85, and the wood rat was the year of the wood rat as well. That is the year. And it's going to change, right? But the wood rat has something to do with like music too, you said? Oh, okay. I do that sometimes. Wow. I use my brain. um, Yeah, so that's really cool. I love when the good people in my life tell me things about my life. Tell me who I am and what they see in me and stuff. I love that. How many of you have those people in your life? They're like, this is you. Like you do this. You're this. This is how I see you. Don't you love that? Oh, I love that. How are your simple pleasures coming along? Mike, are you doing your homework? Okay, I'm gonna check on you. I was a teacher. Don't test me. Does anybody have a simple pleasure they would like to share? What's the one that pops out to you? Yeah, Dixie. Sense of humor. Okay. So maybe we could, yeah, laughter, or being around people that have a sense of humor. Simple pleasure. I know I like that. Anybody else? Singing and dancing. Yeah. I was adamant, and my intention was to get you guys up and moving today because movement is life. And I hope you all did that during the songs, and I hope you continue to do that throughout the day. Leonard? Yeah, absolutely. Yes, sir. Yeah. Smiling and dreaming. Absolutely. Just smiling. It's just such a simple pleasure. Yeah. I enjoy smiling. I enjoy happy people. Absolutely. Anybody else? Yes, Cindy. Being outside. Yeah, of course. Yeah. I'm going to touch on that one. Yes, sir. Creativity. Yes. Over the break, over my 3-week break, I had the intention and idea to sit down and I wanted to create a T-shirt for an annual ski trip that I do to the Black Hills every winter, and it's coming up. And I wanted to do a map of the ski mountain and just kind of have it be like a Where's Waldo kind of busy, like an old like 80s movie poster kind of thing. That was my intention. And then I sat down, I started doing it, and of course it unfolded as this great grand thing that is not going to fit on a T-shirt, and I'm going to have to frame it, and I'm going to have to just create it. And I'm thinking about selling it to the resort when I go back there, or giving it to them, whatever, and having them hang it in the lodge where we hang out. And that was such a flow activity for me during in between skiing and hanging out with Luca and the busyness of break. And that was I was able to just sit down and lock in and just flow. And it was so nice. I had candles lit. I was just drinking coffee. How many of you have a simple pleasure that's just coffee? Coffee is on my list. Life is too short to drink bad coffee. I, I have changed. Like, I, a year ago, I was late to school one morning and I had to stop at 7-Eleven and get coffee because the cafe at the school doesn't open until like after my first class. I'm like, I'm not going to make it. I need 7-Eleven coffee. And I walked in and my professor gave me such grief about that. He's like, John, we don't drink 7-Eleven coffee. And I'm like, don't shame me in front of everyone. I need this. And but anyways, I buy good coffee. I like to support local roasters, and life is just too short. But it's not. I mean, it is the coffee, but it's also not the coffee. It's the ritual. It's a treat. It's something I enjoy. I enjoy the smell of it. I go into the grocery store and I'll smell them in the bag. I enjoy the smell of it. I enjoy the process of like the chemistry. I enjoy that whole ritual. One of my favorite things is Luca will usually sleep in later than me because I let him stay up a little later than his mom does. Shh. And that like hour that I get in the mornings with him, I'll just go and have coffee and just look out. And I live up on top of Kingsbury, so I got quite a view, and it's pretty nice up there. And just that morning ritual is so nice. And how many of you have a simple morning pleasure like that? Yeah. And you have maybe a chair and a room that you use. Yeah. And it's interesting and it's different. I like the quiet mornings being alone with that ritual. But then, like, my parents are in Iowa, and now my aunt will come over because they're all up at like 4:30, 5 o'clock, and she'll come over at like 7, 8 o'clock, and they'll all have coffee there, and it's just like, talk, 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 coffee, 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 and that's a cool ritual too, and I enjoy that too. But I'm finding more that I enjoy the quiet and the being alone part of that, and it allows me to kind of prepare mentally for my day. Um, And with the coffee thing, and maybe you have examples of this in your life, it's okay to indulge a little bit. Like, I'm okay, $2 more for coffee that I like as opposed to coffee I don't like. How many of you have little indulgences like that that you choose? Maybe it's a type of food, or maybe it's an outing that you'll treat yourself to. Does anybody have one they want to share? Yeah. What is it? You meditate while you're driving? Oh my gosh. No, can you explain that a little bit? Oh, you do that. Okay. Wow. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's a beautiful one. There you go. I like that one. You could give a whole talk on that. I like that. I like taking the time to take the long way and driving slower. It's nice to not just go from A to B, but go to A through F and get to G. you know, what we had the other one over here, Cindy. Yeah. A little more mundane. Cup of taco. Oh yeah. It's a bookstore. Yeah. Coffee shop, and it's just a fun place to sit. Yeah. Yeah.
I go to the Catholic Church and sit there when there's no one in here and just look at the stained glass.
Beautiful.
Sometimes I'm the only one.
Yeah. Yes, Phyllis.
Well, my new property, which I'm not living at yet, but I'm there on vacation in Nevada City, off grid. Anyway, I sit on the porch, and there's a family of deer that hangs out there a lot. So it's the buck, it's the mother, and the two babies, and they're just totally comfortable with me there, and they just.
That's nice.
I mean, what a way to start the day.
Yeah, that's a simple pleasure that I enjoy. I enjoy when you catch animals out doing what they are doing and they don't really mind you being there and they just kind of go about their day, like squirrels and stuff, birds. I like doing that. I like watching animals dig in the snow or like dig in the dirt too. I enjoy that. That's really fun. Or you catch catch kittens just playing with each other and they don't really pay you any attention and they're just in their own little world. That's a really fun thing. That's something that I do with Luca. I take little moments with him and I just watch him when he's in an imaginative space or a creative space or just a flow space and just watch him and just enjoy his mannerisms. I also watch him sleep. Don't tell him that, but he'd probably freak out on me. But it's a beautiful thing to just witness. Something that I realized that I would never have planned this because I'm an introvert. If we got any introverts in here, you like your alone time? I'm an introvert, but I'm an extroverted introvert. I can put it out, but I got to go home and recharge by myself. And I have to have that alone time. And I've learned when to take that. But I would not have planned at the age of 40 to be living in two separate houses, splitting my time with four like 22-year-olds in the Bay, and then my housemates up here, which they act like they're 22. And these guys, I have four guys in each house, but it's such a blessing. I come home and they just like ask me about life. I'm the crazy one out being insane, living the insane lifestyle. And they're just like, how's it going? How's school? How's the drive? You gonna go skiing with us? And to come home and be part of that camaraderie is just an amazing pleasure for me. And we get to share, and we talk about the house and things we want to do. And we talk about, going out and adventuring together. And we create like family style meals, and we all contribute, and we just sit down and have a meal together. It's a beautiful thing. And it's something that I read about in the Blue Zone book. Or have you guys seen the Blue Zone show or the book? Read the book? That was one of the things. The people that have longevity of life, they get together regularly with a circle of friends, like daily. They get together. How many of you have that? Maybe not daily, maybe every other day, every 3 days, once a week. It's okay, whatever yours is, but that is an important part of a healthy, happy lifestyle. And it breeds longevity. And so that camaraderie is great. I recently saw a movie that I'd never seen called Tag. Have you guys seen this one? It's about a bunch of guys about my age who have been playing, and it's based on a true story from Spokane, Washington, of these guys that started a game of tag as a kid, and they continue doing it every year. So for the month of May, they play tag. And it's crazy because they live all over the country, right? So they have to like sneak up and wear costumes and stuff and tag each other. And then there's no tag backs or whatever. And so they have to like find their other one. And there was like 8 or 10 of them. But in the movie, it was like 5 of them. And the big goal was to try to get Jerry, who had never been tagged. And like, it was a really fun movie. I recommend it. But it reminded me of growing up and having that camaraderie of brothers. I have about 5 guys, including my brother, back home that I get together with every year on an annual disc golf trip. And I so look forward to that, and I love that time of sharing space with them. Do you guys have annual trips that you take with people like that? Or maybe family? Maybe you have a family reunion or something, or family get together? Unfortunately, a lot of us will only get together with people around a tragedy, right? And that's too bad. I intend to make more time for people. And that's why, like with my birthday, I was just like, I'm gonna get some people together. It's a 40, it's kind of a deal. It's just like, okay, let's celebrate. Why not? It's an excuse to get together, and we all need that. We need that connection. Yeah, can I share something with you that's kind of been on my heart this week? I talked to my dad a few days ago, probably about 4 or 5 days ago, and I graduated with 25 kids in Northwest Iowa, and my dad told me that one of my classmates had passed away, had died. He had shoulder surgery, and he went to bed that night, and he was staying with his dad, who was, nursing him, basically. And gave him some pain medication at 2 a.m. He fell asleep, and he went to wake him up at 6 a.m. to give him more pain meds, and he was dead. Blood clot, and had a stroke. And he's my age, and it just kind of hit me. It kind of hit me, and not that he was like a deep, dear friend or anything, but I'd grown up with him, 13 years in the same school. You know everybody. And he was a nice guy. He was a good guy. And that just kind of put things in perspective for me that, our time here is temporary. And it's, our consciousness will go on. I don't feel that death is the end. You can have your own beliefs around that. But, yeah, it rejuvenated my gratitude for being alive. And something else in my world that has done that is being in this program, learning about health, and just realizing how much unhealthiness is around us and in our society, and that people struggle with. And it really makes me grateful. Like, I have a friend that goes to school with me that suffers from chronic migraines, and it's like incapacitating. She like gets these migraines and she has to like stay home, and she can't handle light, and I'm just like, wow, thank goodness I don't have to deal with that. I'm so grateful for my body. So health is wealth. Keep moving. And how many of you have a simple pleasure that revolves around some form of exercise or movement, or you said dancing. Yeah, you guys ski, right? And what do you do? Yoga, nice. That's a great one. Yeah, if you don't have that aspect of your life right now, I mean, even just walking is so important. I know Doug and Davey, you guys walk every day, right? You guys are very disciplined in that. And that's a beautiful thing that I've started doing too. Walking is very powerful. It gives you time to kind of decompress. Does anybody else have a simple pleasure they would like to share? Yes. Go ahead. The squeak of ducklings? Oh, duck wings. Yeah. Yeah. That's a great one.
I love riding my tricycle and jumping on trampolines.
At the same time,
That's a good one.
my dad bought a poster growing up that is still hanging in our house. It's a dog riding a tricycle with like a cat on his forehead that's like balancing on a ball on his forehead. And it says the trick about life is to make it look easy. It's a good one. It's a good one. Yeah, anything else? Scott, what's the simple pleasure in your life? Okay, good. Nice. Thanks for contributing. Um, yeah, food. Food. We have so much to be grateful for. And just having good food. I know lately I've been kind of disillusioned by the grape selection and I know it's like first world problems. I'm just like in the grocery store and I'm like, these grapes aren't doing it for me. So I haven't, and I love grapes. So that's something. Just when you get fresh fruit, and how many of you garden or grow your own food? There you go. That's a huge one. Something to be grateful for and just to take pleasure in. Friendships are huge. We all have friends in our lives. And what I've learned is if I'm just, Juliet helped me with a prayer earlier, maybe late December. I wanted to focus on discipline and focus going into this next chapter. And I've been doing very well with that. But what I've realized is that awareness of trying to hold my own space where I am and where I see myself as my best self really attracts good people. And it rarely attracts, contrast. It rarely attracts hardship. And that's a nice thing. But not to diminish hardship, I was thinking about this as well. The challenges in our life. How many of you, take pleasure in the challenges? I love the challenge. I love the struggle. The struggle of life makes it fun. It makes life interesting. It gives us variety. Unfortunately, sometimes it comes bam, 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 bam. And it's like, whoa, what did I do? And I've had that happen too with cars and stuff and issues. But riding that flow of knowing that it's all inside of you and you can tackle any problem, any challenge. That's kind of a motto that I kind of jokingly made up at school around like anatomy classes and stuff. When my friends are testing, I'm just like, let's rock this test. Like it's all inside of you, like whatever. But it's true. And that's kind of what our meditation was about, is the abundance of the world is yours. It's yours. All you got to do is claim it. And this place is part of that manifestation. We are all craving a place to be seen, to belong, to celebrate life, to connect, to share food together, to share camaraderie, friendship, share in each other's lives, share interest in each other's lives, to have resources, people that can help us out. When one of us goes down, there's always a like Meals on Wheels program that we set up. That's huge. If someone needs something, a unity person is one of the first people I think of when I need something and I know that I need someone with integrity to follow through and be there. This is that space. So please don't take this space for granted. Maybe our simple pleasures can remind us of that. That was kind of my intention with this. And don't be afraid to step into a challenging role and step into your power here and take on the computer, the Zoom thing, take on the soundboard. You can work a soundboard. I can work a soundboard. You can work a soundboard. And it truly does take a village, and we have a beautiful village. But I just see too often, I see people burn out. I experienced it. It cannot just rest on one or two or three people's shoulders. We have many angels. And I see 4 of those angels stepping up right now to be on the council. And bless you. Thank you. Approve. I approve. All of you. And I'm sorry I'm not here more. And I intend to be. So thank you so much for holding this space, for keeping it sacred, for keeping it alive. And we're all responsible for that. And it's a beautiful thing. And Tahoe needs this. So let's keep it going. All right, I love you guys. Have a beautiful meeting. Have a beautiful day. I have a Carol hair on me.
Surprise.